morning, my friends. Welcome to God Focus this morning. The title of today's episode is Generational Blessings. Proverbs 20:7 says, "The just man walketh in his integrity, his children are blessed after him." This is a message for parents. If you love your children, you want them to have a good start in life. The best thing you can do is to love God first. Get yourself right with God, because the things you do will train your children to do the same. Have you ever watched a little boy sit on the couch beside of his dad? The dad may be reading the newspaper, so the little boy picks up a piece of the newspaper and pretends to read. If the dad crosses his legs, the little boy crosses his legs. They may be watching a football game and the dad yells that his team just got a touchdown. The little boy will jump up and down in excitement, even if he doesn't understand what a touchdown is in context. Just as Isaac and Jacob were blessed because of Abraham, we too are blessed if our parents serve the Lord. But that doesn't give us a free pass. God doesn't have grandchildren. We all must serve the Lord for ourselves. Isaac and Jacob had to learn to live for God themselves. But it was easier to make that transition because Abraham had equipped Isaac and Isaac had equipped Jacob. Good or bad, children often end up living like their parents. This is a good thing if they serve the Lord, but if they spent their whole lives not wanting anything to do with Jesus, that will make it harder for their children to follow him. But not impossible. We all must learn to love and serve the Lord for ourselves. We must teach the next generation to love and serve the Lord. If we don't, the world will teach them to deny he exists. There are generational curses that stay with family as well as generational blessings. For example, many people end up being alcoholics because they watched their parents run to a bottle of liquor every time something went wrong or every time they needed to celebrate. Although alcoholism is a spirit, few get free from its grip unless they give it to God. It's not impossible to be set free. Sin is not the only generational curse. Judgmental attitudes and self-righteous religion can be as harmful as any sin. The spirit of religion can also stay with families. Jesus didn't come to start a religion. He came to save the lost and the broken and the sinner. If parents are over-religious, it can go one of two ways. The child will grow up to be just like them, religious and full of a bunch of legalistic rules, judging others for their mistakes, when their judgment is as harmful as any sin. Their children will grow up to be miserable in their own self-righteousness. Or they will run because of the judgmental attitudes they grew up with will give them the lesson that they can never do enough to measure up to God's standard, even though it's man's standard. They will see him as an overlord waiting to zap them when they step out of line. They will feel like there is not even a reason to try, so they run to the world. They run toward Satan because he seems like the only option. They feel it is too hard for anyone to be a Christian. I have not always walked perfectly, but I have had a blessed life because of my great-grandparents, my grandparents, and my parents. Has everything always been perfect? No. I've had hard circumstances, but I've learned by example that we walk by faith and not by sight through those circumstances. The things I know is because I was given a solid foundation. If you were not blessed to have that foundation, you can be the first person to start it in your bloodline. Your children and future generations will be blessed because of the choices you make today. 2 Timothy 1:4-5. Greatly desiring to see thee, being mindful of thy tears, that I may be filled with joy, when I call to remembrance the unfeigned faith that is in thee, which dwelt first in thy grandmother Lois and thy mother Eunice, and I am persuaded that it is in thee also. Apostle Paul wrote to Timothy that the unfeigned faith that he had was because of his mother and grandmother. Don't let the enemy keep the next generation bound. Teach them about the God of the Bible, the one true God, and how much he loves each and every one of us. Today is a new day, a blank page in your story. If you're not fully dedicated to following Jesus, let today be the day you choose to step out in faith and receive all that he has for you. Accept your generational blessings, or be the generation that starts the generational blessings in your family. Being a Christian is not about a bunch of legalistic rules. It's about a relationship with Jesus Christ. Be blessed all of your days. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more encouragement. Be bold, be brave, and keep your God focus. Have a good day.